What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Kevin Svenson, and today we're going to be discussing the price of Bitcoin. So recently, after we broke above this median price, we're really kind of like the 41K level, which is sort of the middle of our resistances and our support flips. Recently, we broke above it, and I started to get a little bit more bullish. We bounced. I thought we were going to hold it, but we didn't. We failed it. So now we're kind of back below water. Now we're kind of back in this, area where historically, it was a good accumulation zone. But the fact that we're not really able to maintain it right now, as of now, is raising some concerns for me. So recently, I kind of just did a brainstorm, and I asked myself, if the bears are right, why are they right? Right? I think it was important to ask that question. I was like, let me just find as much bearish arguments as I can, and let's see what we get. And there are actually a lot of good arguments to be said for the bearish case right now. So we're going to be going over those now that we're failing to hold supports, and it's, we're pretty much right, we're kind of like danger close to this trend line, which if we fall below it, that is a macro lower low, which is, technically a bear market. Of course, you could say, well, no, we have to get below, 30,000 or 2,800 or something like that. I mean, sure, you could wait for that as well to really call it a bear market. But regardless, I want to talk about some of the things that I've recently come across that have definitely raised some concern. And the first thing is the volume. You guys know, my viewers here know, the regular viewers know that the weekly Coinbase volume has been my favorite go-to indicator for calling major market tops and major market bottoms. So on this channel, we called the end of this bull run. It's kind of when the channel started, how my channel got known. We had a really good top call here in 2019. We also called the COVID bottom and the $30,000 low. I did not call this low perfectly by any means, but most of them I actually was able to call by using these volume signatures. And they've been unbelievably amazing, right? So useful. And on this tweet, I said, it's hard for me to just blindly say that the bottom is in without volume confirmation. And if you're looking here on the right side, well, look down here, guys. We don't have that, right? So we don't have that classic Coinbase weekly volume signature, which then leaves the question, where are we? There's a big question mark now in my mind. Where are we, guys? We don't have a clear bottom signal. What's going on? Looking at the BLX, the long term, some of our key moving averages, or one key moving average that I was looking at, the 50-week SMA. The 50-week SMA in 2014 was a great bear market continuation signal where we came up, we hit it as support, and then broke below it. And then we pretty much just held below it for roughly over 400 days. We stayed below that, right? That was the full length of the bear market down there. Now, moving ahead in time, 2017, we remained above it. And really just like this 2014 when we bounced and then broke, here we bounced and then broke. And when we did that, well, that was a bear market continuation signal, and we stayed there for roughly 300 days, a little over 300 days. So over 400 days before, 300 days here. And now looking at Bitcoin where we are now, well, just like the past two bear markets, we met this 50-week and then broke it, right? So we're below it. We do have this historic bear market continuation signal that worked, well, even back here in 2011 for a brief period. Of course, it was a little different then, but it worked nonetheless in the past two bear markets as a continuation signal. We have it again. So this is a great bearish argument, right? We bounced off the 50-week right here, right? And then we broke it. So if, in theory, we were going to play out this bear market fractal, well, we would be down for anywhere between 300 to 400 days, which means essentially that's like putting us at the beginning of 2023 or a month or two into 2023, where we would stay below the 50-week SMA, right? And then look to break out later. So, even if that was going to happen, if we did remain above 20,000, well, it wouldn't be all too bad, I suppose. At least not for the altcoins would get decimated, but for Bitcoin, I suppose it wouldn't be all too bad. But regardless, we are getting all of these bear market continuation signals now, and we have played out the same having bull cycle length as previous cycles, right? So we've played out the same timing of each bull market since the halving, and we've broken the 50-week just like before. So the setup is there. The setup is there just like before, right? We do see that, just like in 2014 going to 2015, we had some volatility in the equities, right? In the stock market. That's when that first bear market happened. And then the 2017 bear market was, we were steady up all the way through. And then once equities, this is the S&P, got unstable, then Bitcoin had its bear market here. And well, the same setup is here, guys. Steady all the way up, and now an instability. So yeah, I mean, we are getting the same setup as all the previous bear markets from the equity side. So yeah, I mean, there are definitely some concerns here, guys, for sure. There are bullish arguments possibly in the short term as well. But, it just seems like if we just kind of maintain below 41 and we aren't able to break it, then we may see those macro lower lows come in. Of course, if we just wick down and recover, then that's a different story. If we close weeklies, if we close monthlies below 30K or even below this trend line, the bears start to pick up some steam. But again, I also do think that it's going to have a lot to do with equities. Bitcoin in 2018 held the 6K level while the stock market sort of remained stable and or bullish. And then we broke 6K upon this retrace for the S&P. Bitcoin was reacting to the S&P and dumped to 3,100 right there alongside the S&P. So if the S&P rallies sometime soon, Bitcoin may avoid a break below these support levels, right? We may just rally with it. If the S&P continues to dump, it's very unlikely that Bitcoin's just going to not dump, right? Not hit a lower low, right? So these are a lot of the concerns I've had recently, some of the bearish arguments that I've sort of, found just brainstorming about it. Again, it's pretty much up to the stock market, in my view, for the most part. I think, the global situation causing a lot of uncertainty right now, Fed meetings coming up, the war with Russia, Ukraine, all that kind of stuff, right? A lot of uncertainties right now. So stocks, I believe, are going to drive this next major move for Bitcoin. So we will see, guys. But I just wanted to, present the truth here and how I really see this now. It's definitely not as good of a picture as it was back here, right? Because back here, even the stock market was, I believe, bullish. If we go back to May, yeah, the stock market was actually trending up right here, while we had all of that FUD from Tesla and China and regulation FUD that caused this dump for Bitcoin. We were able to maintain that low because equities were bullish, right? But now it's a different story. So just definitely keep have some caution here. Historically, it is a good time to accumulate, but, of course, maybe use the side of caution. I don't really see much of a rush in terms of making decisions right now. So waiting and watching, I believe, is perfectly okay until we get maybe a break above 41, which would then signal a more bullish resolution possibly, or a break below this trend line or 30K, which would signal a more bearish resolution possibly, right? So we will see, guys. It's definitely a very peculiar position for Bitcoin to be in right now. And just wanted to give it to you guys straight. Hope you enjoyed. Hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you all in the next video.